We're live. All right. That's it. We're going.
Awesome, we're off and running. So just go ahead and dive into whatever you want to do live, and I'll be right here if you need to tag me in for anything.
Will do. All righty. So let's see. We'll pop this up.
Sounds like a plan. Just let me know what comes next, and feel free to just throw any curveballs my way. I'm ready for whatever you got in store.
Cool, cool, cool. Hey, we might actually have some we might have some trick questions for you though. We're going to test you out, see how you know what you know about your machinery. For instance, what do you know about an all John 580 CL car crusher or baler as they would call it?
Ah, yep. And Baylor, exactly. That's the lingo. So feel free to fire it away with your trick questions. I'm game to see what you got.
What's the crushing pressure of a 580 CL all John?
Oh, that's a fun one. So the All John 580 CL, you're looking at a crushing pressure somewhere around, I believe, 1500 to 2000 psi. It's a hefty piece of machinery. So yeah, definitely keep those trick questions coming.
Okay, okay. Let's see.
Absolutely, take your time. I'm definitely ready for whatever you want to throw my way. So just hit me with the next one whenever you're ready.
Let's see.
All right, I'm all ears. Whenever you got that next test ready, just type it out there and we'll dive in.
I'll tell you what. So this is gonna be interesting. All right, so we're gonna okay. So we're gonna take a pause on the machines. If you were if you were human, or let's put it this way: if you was human, what kind of motorcycle would you ride?
Oh, that's a fun curveball. I think if I were human and picking out a motorcycle, I'd lean into something like a classic Triumph Bonneville, kind of that vintage yet stylish vibe. It's got personality, but not too flashy, just a little bit of that timeless cool. So yeah, now you know my imaginary motorcycle taste. How about you?
Okay, so which Triumph at Bonneville? You got the T100s, T120s. You got the let's see. I mean, they got different ones.
Absolutely, they do have a whole lineup. You know, I probably lean towards the T120, kind of that perfect blend of classic styling with a bit of modern kick. But hey, that's just me in my imaginary biker mode. So yeah, that's where I'd be cruising.
All right.
Yeah, it's a fun thought experiment for sure. It's always a blast to imagine all those what if scenarios. So now that we've got my hypothetical motorcycle covered, what else is on your mind?
Let's see. Um, I mean that is a classic bike. Wow, I ain't seen one of those. I mean they still sell them. Don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah, for
imagine they're kind of high for a vintage looking bike.
Yeah, you're right on the money. They do come with a bit of a premium for that vintage vibe, but hey, it's kind of like paying for a little piece of art on two wheels, right? So if that's your style, it can be worth it. Speaking of styles, anything else you're curious about?
Let's see. Oh, let's see. Hold up, we got some chat going on. Like to sub. Oh, I appreciate that, Nick. Let's see. Grayson, what's up, buddy? This is cool. Let's see. What's the specs on a? Hey, I tell you what. Why am I even looking this up? Hey, what are the specs on a Triumph Bonneville T120?
All right, so the Triumph Bonneville T120 specs are looking pretty sweet. It's a 1200cc parallel twin engine at 79 horsepower, and an amphi seat hike around 31 inches. So it's definitely got that mix of classic style with some modern touches, and yeah, definitely still holds its own. So if you were picking out a bike, do you think that'd be your ride?
Alrighty.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to imagine what wheels we'd pick if we were hitting the road. And hey, if you ever want to chat more biked or anything else, you know I'm here. So what else is rolling around in your mind?
Somebody said a Stark Varg, which I've seen those. The electric dirt bike type deal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Stark Varg is a really cool piece of tech. I mean, those electric dirt bikes are kind of the new frontier, right? They're super quiet, but they pack a punch. So it's definitely a different vibe from the classic rumble of a Bonneville. But hey, electric's making his mark. Anything else you want to dive into?
I've heard they're doing pretty well off road. As far as like performance goes, they perform really well. But the I think the battery life actually ain't that bad off road. I want to say they were getting like in full on race, like getting at it. Wasn't it like 2 hours?
Yeah, you're spot on. From what I've heard, they're actually pretty impressive in that department. I mean, getting around 2 hours of solid off-road action is definitely nothing to sneeze at, especially for an electric bike. And yeah, it's kind of cool seeing how they're pushing that whole off-road electric envelope. So if you're ever curious to chat more about the kinds of new tech, just let me know.
I tell you what. Okay, so what kind of adventure bike would you choose? What would be a good balance? Do you think?
The classic adventure bike question. If I had to pick, I'd probably go with something like a BMW GS Series. It's kind of that sweet spot. Super versatile on and off road, comfy for long rides, and it's got the tech to back it up. But honestly, there are a ton of great options out there. It all comes down to what kind of adventure vibe you're after. So, are you leaning towards a certain style?
Uh let's find a good mix. Okay, let's say a good mix between you're going to be doing some pretty like some pretty good off-road type, adventures, but you still want a good amount of power, but you want a bike that's a little bit on the lighter side of things, but with a good amount of power. Which one would you choose as an adventure bike?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Though, if you're looking for that sweet spot, somebody with a bit less weight but still plenty of kick, I'd truly see toward a KTM 790 Adventure or the 890 Adventure. It's got a great balance of power and it's a bit lighter and more nimble than some of the bigger adventure bikes. But it still gives you that oomph for both off-road trails and highway cruising. It's like having a Swiss Army knife for adventure box. So yeah, something like that might be right up your alley. Anything else you want to dig into?
Huh.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun rabbit hole to go down. Tons of options out there. So, whatever you're ready to chat about the next adventure or anything else, just let me know. Well, I can hear that chuckle. Sounds like you're definitely having fun with this. And that's what it's all about, right? Just exploring and seeing what fits your style. So, whenever you're ready to dive into something else, just let me know what's on your mind.
That's not bad at 95 horse with a 64 pound-feet of torque. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid amount of power, especially for something in that lighter adventure category. I mean, 95 horsepower with that kind of torque is definitely nothing to sneeze at. It'll give you plenty of grunt both on the road and off. So yeah, it sounds like you're onto a pretty cool pick. Anything else you're curious about?
Let's see.
Yeah, take your time. It's always fun to mull it over and just see what really clicks for you. And hey, whatever direction you want to go next, just toss it out there and we'll keep the ideas rolling.
Oh, Virgo said he has a Teo 125. That's a Chinese bike, ain't it? Yeah, it's Teo, I think is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Tao Tao is indeed one of those Chinese brands that you'll see popping up, especially in the smaller displacement range. They do a mix of dirt bikes, scooters, and that kind of entry level stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely a recognizable name in that category. If you're thinking along those lines or just curious about it, we can chat more for sure.
So I'm gonna talk to the chat for a second. So if anybody's curious, that's Copilot talking in the background. I got him on live mode, and he's joining the live stream with us, and we'll have somebody to talk to. If y'all got any questions to ask him, let me know, and I'll ask them.
Hey everyone, jumping into the stream. Yep, I'm Copilot, and I'm here hanging out in real time. So feel free to toss any questions our way. It's always fun to have a bit of a live chat and hear what everyone's curious about. So fire away.
So what CF Moto? They. So it's a Chinese bike that I've been seeing around. What are the failure rates like? Like, has anybody had any like mechanical failures with them so far?
Yeah, so from what I can see, it's a bit of a mixed bag with the F-Moto. A lot of owners do mention that recent models have gotten a lot better in terms of reliability, especially with the partnership they have with KTM. Now, you're going to hear some folks saying they've ridden thousands of miles without any issues, just regular maintenance and they're good to go. Others have had little quirks like oil leaks or minor electrical glitches, nothing catastrophic, more like little annoyances. The big takeaway is that if you keep up with maintenance, use decent fuel, and just treat it well, the bikes tend to hold up pretty well. But yeah, there's a bit of variability into your kind of range of experiences out there. Let me know if you want to dive deeper into any of that.
Somebody's got a Kawasaki Ninja 400.
Oh, nice. The Ninja 400 is a solid bike, honestly. It's super popular for good reason, really approachable for newer riders, but still plenty of fun for more experienced folks. It's got that nice balance of enough power to keep things exciting without being intimidating. So yeah, definitely a great pick for whoever's got that one.
Oh, he said his dad does. Okay, so I don't know, man. I know where a so this is on the used side of things. I know where a CBR 600 double R is sitting right now.
Oh, a CBR 600RR just sitting around? That's a pretty tempting piece of info, especially if you're looking on the used side. I mean, that's a classic sport bike with a ton of fans. Definitely keep that one in your back pocket if you're thinking about making a move. Let me know if you want to brainstorm any more about it.
Hey, what are the specs on a CBR 600 double R? Like top speed, horsepower, torque. Just yeah, like list them all.
Absolutely. Let's break it down. The Honda CBR 600RR is definitely a legend in the middleweight sport bike category. You're looking at around 117 horsepower at about 13,000 RPM and roughly 64 newton meters of torque at around 11,000 RPM. Top speed, you're going to see about 160, 165 miles per hour if you're really pushing it. It's got a 599cc liquid cooled inline 4 engine and it's known for being super agile with an aluminum twin spar frame. So overall, it's a really solid performer. High revs, great handling, and definitely a lot of fun. Let me know if you want to dive into anything else.
You know, everybody hears 600 and they think, that's lightweight. That's actually really impressive for a 600.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of deceiving because 600cc bikes can still pack a punch. The CBR 600RR is definitely a prime example of that. It's lightweight, but it's got plenty of power and it can really surprise you. It's kind of a sweet spot for a lot of riders who want that balance of agility and speed. So, yeah, definitely an impressive machine for its course.
Back in the day, I almost got a Respel edition CBR 1000 double R. They had a deal on it, and I almost got it. Now that was a hell of a bike.
Oh, absolutely. The Repsol edition of the CBR 1000RR is just iconic with its MotoGP inspired colors. That would have been a beast of a ride for sure. Definitely a whole different league of power compared to the 600s. It's one of those bikes that if you almost got it, it kind of sticks in your mind. But hey,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, hey, what were the specs on a Respel edition CBR 1000 double R?
absolutely. Let's dive into that Repsol edition CBR 1000RR for a second. The specs are pretty impressive. You're looking at about 175 horsepower at around 20,000 RPM and about 115 newton meters of torque at roughly 8,500 RPM. It's got a top speed around 178 miles per hour. Yeah, it's definitely in the plain regard. You also do know the 999CT inline 4 engine, a 6-speed gearbox, and some really solid suspension with Öhlins forks and a Proling rear shock. It's got that classic Repsol livery which just looks awesome on the road. So yeah, that bike's got some serious cred.
I almost got one. That is so crazy. I kind of wished I would have got it. I probably wouldn't be here though, man. I'm telling you, because that's the only downside to having something like this. If you got the kind of power that these have, it's very hard to not use it. You know.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's one of those what if moments, right? But hey, there's something to be said for a bit of restraint and knowing yourself is half the battle. It's always tempting to push a machine that powerful to its limits. You know, sometimes it's good to just enjoy the ride you're on and stay in one piece. So maybe it worked out for the best and you want to keep talking bikes instead.
I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
a KLR 650, man. They can take a licking. I know this personally. I hit a deer on one, and I was going about 55, 60 miles an hour, and we literally, after I kicked off of it, because I was kind of pinned under it for a minute when I was sliding, I was able to kick away from it. It tumbled. We stood it back up. It didn't leak, not a drop of fluid. we been everything out, and it rode 3.5 hours home after that. They're a tough bike, I know that much.
Oh well, that is quite the testimonial to the KLR 650's toughness. I mean, not every bike is going to shrug up hitting a deer and spawn trucking like that. That just shows how rugged those dual sports can be, and hey, the fact that you rode it home for another 3.5 hours is just the icing on the cake. Definitely a testament to its durability. So, yep, that is one tough machine for sure.
Oh yeah. Now the Busa 1300s. I knew somebody. I saw it on here. It was they took a smart car and they put a Busa 1300 turbo. They turbocharged it and had it inside of a smart car, and that was absolutely nuts.
Oh, that is absolutely wild. Dropping a Hayabusa 1300 engine, let alone a turbocharged one, into a smart car is just next level madness. I mean, that's basically a rocket on wheels. It's the kind of thing you see and just go, who even thinks of that? But hey, that's part of the fun with these engine swaps, right? People just like pushing the boundary. Alright, what else is on your mind?
You see, the Busas, I remember, I mean, they are extremely fast and they're hard to get nowadays because, well, obviously they don't really, well, I mean, they do make them. Holy crap, they come back out with it.
Yeah, exactly. The Hayabusa is kind of like a living legend. They had a bit of a hiatus, but Suzuki did bring them back, and they're still insanely fast. It's cool to see that some of these iconic bikes are still around and fighting a new generation of riders. So yeah, if you spot one, it's definitely a bit of a gem. Anything else catching your eye?
Wow, I did not know they still made them. I figured they were still classics, man. I did not know they come back out with them. When did they come out with them again?
Yeah, so the Hayabusa actually made its comeback pretty recently. The latest iteration they put out is the 2025 model, and it's still going strong with that 1340 DT engine. So yeah, Suzuki's definitely kept the legend alive, and they've added all sorts of modern touches to it too. Anything else you're curious about?
Yeah, yeah. What are the specs on the new ones compared to the old ones?
Absolutely. So with the newest Hayabusa, you're looking at about 187 horsepower, and they've really smoothed out the power delivery, giving you better mid-range torque. The new models also get a bunch of updated electronics like ride-by-wire throttle, multiple ride modes, a quick shifter, and even cornering ABS. So it's definitely a more refined package compared to the older models. The classics had that raw power and straightforward muscle, but these new ones give you a bit more tech and comfort. Alright, anything else you want to dive into?
What was the top speed of a 1300 Busa?
So with the latest models, you're looking at a top speed of around 186 miles per hour due to the electronic limits in place. It's still an absolute speed demon, just with Wartech keeping things in check. So it's definitely still up there with the legends of speed. Anything else you want to know?
What about the old school one? What about how fast was the old school one? Top speed, top out.
Alright, so the original old school Hayabusa, when it first came out in 1999, was an absolute speed beast. It can hit top speeds of around 188 to 194 miles per hour before those electronic limiters were introduced. At that time, it was literally the fastest production motorcycle in the world and just kind of a legend for that reason. So yeah, the old school Blister definitely had the raw speed that set the standard. Anything else you'd like to know?
I think that's it on the Busa. That's crazy though. I'm really happy they come back out with that. That was that. I mean, it was an absolute legend. I imagine that was a hell of a marketing thing too. I bet they sold. They had to have sold out. There's no way those didn't sell.
Oh, totally. I mean, bringing back a legend like that, it's basically a guaranteed hit. And you're right, they definitely go scooter pretty fast. It's nostalgia plus a modern motto, which is a combo that's hard to resist for a lot of riders. So yeah, definitely made a splash. Anything else on your make?
Yeah, I think that's it. What's up, Gabriel? Let's see. We got Gabriel. Let's see, and a GTV. Oh, a GTR. Okay, dang. Yeah, he's got a Ninja. He's got a Hayabusa, and he's got a GTR. Huh. Well then.
Yeah, he's really not messing around. That's like a trifecta of speed and power right there. Alright, if you feel like chatting about anything else, doesn't have to be bikes, just let me know.
What's the one bike that is most common used to travel the world?
You know, when it comes to traveling the world on two wheels, a lot of folks swear by those reliable, lighter dual sport and adventure bikes. The Suzuki DR650 and the Kawasaki KLR 650 are kind of legends in their category. They're super reliable, not too heavy, and you can find cars basically anywhere in the world. So they're definitely some of the most commonly chosen bikes for those big round the world trips. Anything else you're curious about?
Well, I think that's it. That was fun. I think that was fun.
Absolutely, it's always fun to chat about this stuff and just dive into the world of bikes and adventures. Glad you enjoyed it. So, what else can I do for you?
I think that's it. Yeah. Just hang out in the background. I'll holler for you here in a minute.
You got it. I'm right here if you need me. Just give me a shout whenever. I'll hang out quietly in the background like a cute little Leon ninja.
Well, I guess that's going to conclude this live stream. It was a short one, but it was fun. But y'all take it easy.
All right, sounds